You might think rich people are born lucky, but actually, they tend to have the same 15 habits and poor people don't. In this video, you will discover 15 signs that will help you predict who will succeed and who will forever struggle in life. It doesn't take a high starting point. It just takes the right mindset. If you find videos like this one helpful in changing your thinking, subscribe to the channel because the next videos are even more insightful. Do you know the biggest difference between someone who will be rich and someone who never makes it? Rich people don't just think, they act. When an idea comes, they write it down. When they remember a call, they make it right away. When they see a chance, they move, even before they feel ready. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't need 100% certainty. They just know. Doing it now beats waiting forever for perfection. Every time you delay a small action, you're training your brain to hesitate, to doubt, to stay stuck. But the wealthy? They train their minds to link ideas with movement. And when you move, you build momentum. And once momentum kicks in, no one can stop you. Success doesn't come from big ideas. It comes from small actions, taken the moment you think of them. How many ideas have passed through your mind today without you taking a single step? Ellipsis. Because next you'll see that wealthy people don't just move fast. They become obsessed with what they do in a way that others can't even understand. The rich don't work because they have to. They work because they want to, because they can't stop. While others are out partying, they're thinking about their project. When most people wait for the weekend, they wait for the next task. Work, to them, isn't just work. It's an obsession. They don't need pressure, or deadlines, or praise, because every hour of work pulls them closer to their dream. When you find what makes you forget time, you might have found what can set you free forever. You might ask, but don't they burn out? No, they don't burn out because they're not forcing anything. Passion doesn't drain them, it fuels them. They don't fight their work. They become one with it. Their lives revolve around it, and it doesn't exhaust them, it completes them. Ellipsis. And if you think passion alone guarantees success, just wait. Because in the next part, you'll see how the wealthy see time completely differently. The wealthy don't live day by day. They live decade by decade. They see so far ahead, you might think they're just dreaming. But they're planning. In their minds, the future is already so clear. It's like a road they've walked 100 times, even if right now they're still in the dirt. The average think about tomorrow. The rich think 10 years ahead. Talk to them and you'll notice. They don't gossip. They're not trapped in the daily noise. They talk about vision. They talk about how the world will change, and where they'll stand when it does. Poor mindsets live day to day, making it through the week. But the wealthy? They design their future, starting now. They trade short-term comfort for long-term freedom. And that's how they go further than anyone else. Ellipsis. But vision alone isn't enough. Because in the next part you'll discover the one thing wealthy people fear deeply. While most people don't even realize it's holding them back. Most people fear failure. The rich don't. What they fear is being stuck. Stuck in a job they hate. Stuck in a toxic relationship. Stuck in a life that never changes, with nothing left to discover. You can recover from failure, but you can't get back lost time. While others fear messing up, looking bad, or getting hurt, the wealthy fear living a life that never moves forward. A life that passes without ever being truly lived. That fear pushes them out of their comfort zone. They're willing to try. To fail, to start over, to begin where others would stop. They're not brave because they're stronger. They're bold because they know staying still is the biggest failure of all. Ellipsis. But even that isn't the full story. Because next, you'll see what really makes them unstoppable. They don't care what others think. And they don't let shame hold them back from living loud. Successful people? They've been laughed at more times than you can count. And they kept going. They launched failed products. Posted videos no one watched. Shared ideas people called crazy. But they still did it. Still spoke. Still showed up. People laugh because they envy the courage they don't have. The wealthy don't see embarrassment as a barrier. They see it as the entry price of success. Because every expert was once a beginner. Every name you know was once unknown. And every success started with something that looked silly. If you fear looking foolish, you'll never step into the spotlight. But if you push through shame, you'll reach places others only dream of. Ellipsis. And once they stop caring what others think, the rich don't waste time watching others. They create instead. The rich don't spend hours scrolling social media, watching others live. They use it to build their own life. They don't binge video after video. They post videos. They write, share, send a message, create something of value. Consumers will always make creators rich. 1 hour a day, that's their limit. Just enough to check, reply, post, then they log off to create more. If you want to be rich, ask yourself, today, did you create or just consume? You can't build your empire while watching someone else's. The wealthy know. Social media is a marketplace. Are you selling or just strolling? Ellipsis. But don't get it twisted, creation needs one powerful ingredient. And in the next part, you'll see, the rich don't just create casually. They move with unshakable belief, even when they have nothing yet. Ever met someone who talked about their dream? And even if nothing was ready, you just knew they did it? Not because they had proof, but because they had belief. The wealthy carry one powerful tool. A blind belief in themselves. No one gets far without believing. If there's no path, I'll build one. Of course they have doubts. But they never let doubt stop their steps. They use belief like a torch, lighting their way through the dark. They speak about their plans with an unshakable certainty. And soon, others start to believe too. Because to lead, you must believe first. Ellipsis. And when belief is that strong, they don't seek outside motivation. Because next, you'll see how the rich seek silence. Not to rest, but to go deeper within. Most people fear silence, but the wealthy seek it. They spend time alone, no phone, no noise, no scrolling, just them, and the deep questions within. Am I on the right path? Does what I'm doing truly matter? Am I living, or just existing? When you stop running from silence, you finally hear your true voice. That's when the big ideas come. That's when the plan unfolds, like a map drawn in the mind. The rich aren't lost in the noise. They step back to see the whole picture. Then return, ready to move like someone who's already seen the future. They're not afraid of solitude. They know, to go far, you must first hear yourself clearly. Ellipsis. And once they have that inner clarity, they no longer hesitate. They act boldly, even if it means saying no to almost everything. Stick around, because next, you'll learn the one habit that keeps them laser-focused. The rich succeed not because they do more, but because they say no more often. The rich aren't great because they do more. They're great because they do less, but better. They know what doesn't serve their goal, and they say no without apology. No to social invites that waste time. No to cool projects that lead them off track. No to anything that drains their energy or clouds their vision. Every time you say yes to something unnecessary, you're saying no to your dream. Poor mindsets fear saying no, afraid to offend or be misunderstood. But the wealthy fear something else. Losing themselves. To them, time is more precious than money. And they protect it fiercely, by saying yes only to what truly matters. Ellipsis. And because they guard their focus, they don't follow trends. They create them, by learning relentlessly every single day. Coming up next, the rich don't start out knowing more, but they have one habit that sets them apart over time. The rich never say, I know enough. They always ask, what don't I know yet? They read while others scroll. Listen to podcasts while driving. Jot down every spark of an idea. And most importantly, they apply what they learn. If you learn one new thing each day, in a year, you'll be ahead of 99% of the world. They're not born smarter. They just never stop. The average learn for tests, then forget. The wealthy learn to change their lives. Because they learn non-stop, they stay ahead. They see trends before they rise. They understand the core while others just see the surface. And because of that, they lead. Ellipsis. But don't think learning is enough. Because the rich don't wait until they're ready to start. Coming up next, you'll see what gives them their edge. They move first, and figure things out as they go. Average people wait until they feel confident. The rich don't. They move first, then figure things out along the way. When opportunity knocks, they don't say, I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. I need to learn more first. They say yes. Then dive in and learn by doing. You don't need to be ready to start. But you do need to start to be ready. If you wait for perfect, you'll wait forever. If you fear being wrong, you'll never be in the game. The rich know. Action builds momentum. Action clarifies thinking. Action is the fastest path to success. Ellipsis. And once they act, they don't go it alone. They surround themselves with like-minded thinkers. People who push, grow, and elevate. Because coming up next, you'll discover one of the richest principles of wealth. You can't rise high if you're surrounded by those pulling you down. There's a simple but powerful truth. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. The rich know this better than anyone. They choose their circle with intention. Not because they're snobs, but because they know. Mindsets are contagious. Spend time with complainers, you'll start seeing problems everywhere. Hang out with quitters, you'll start doubting your own goals. But surround yourself with visionaries, and you'll start rising with them. The wealthy build their environment on purpose. They find mentors, join growth communities, and let go of anyone who holds them back. Success isn't just personal effort. It's a reflection of the environment you choose. So, who are you spending time with? Are they fueling your fire, or putting it out? Ellipsis. And once the rich are in the right circle, they don't just listen for praise. They listen for feedback, because that's what fuels real growth. Coming up next, you'll see how successful people chase feedback, while average ones run away from it. Most people love praise, but the successful? They seek feedback. They don't want to hear, "You're doing great." They ask, "What could I do better?" Praise makes you feel good. Feedback makes you grow. The average get defensive when criticized. The rich? They know. Every piece of feedback is a shortcut to improvement. They don't avoid the truth, they hunt for it. They ask customers, teammates, themselves, and they don't make excuses. They take notes and make changes. You won't grow if you live in the comfort of compliments. The rich evolve faster, because they don't need praise. They need pressure. Ellipsis. And with constant feedback, they move fast. But they also stop often, not to boast, but to reassess their path. Coming up next, you'll discover the quiet habit that keeps the wealthy from repeating mistakes. They reflect and course correct. The rich don't just run fast. They stop often, to check their compass. Where am I headed? Is this still the right direction? Am I staying busy, but drifting away from my goals? Sometimes, you don't need more speed. You just need to adjust your aim. The average avoid facing mistakes. The rich? They face them often and fix fast. They journal, reflect, ask the hard questions. Does this still align with my values? Am I doing this from purpose, or just habit? These quiet moments save them from massive detours. They don't wait for a wake-up call. They self-correct like a smart system. Ellipsis. And once they know who they are, where they're going, and why, they stop wandering. They move with clarity. And that's why they don't just work well. They live consciously. Coming up next, the final key. You'll see how the rich don't just chase success. They build their lives on unshakable values. Not money. Not achievements. What keeps the rich grounded through success is a personal value system. They know what they stand for, what they will never tolerate, and what they live for, not just what they live from. The poor chase what's shiny. The rich follow what aligns with their values. Because of that clarity, they don't get swept up in trends. They're not easily manipulated. They don't shift course when criticized. They don't do things because everyone's doing it. They do them because it feels right. And that's why, even before the money shows up, they already feel solid. They don't fake it. They don't chase spotlights, because the light is already within them. Ellipsis. If you ever feel lost, start here. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What kind of life would I live, even if money weren't the goal? Because when you live by your values, success doesn't need to be chased. It will find you. Rich people don't wait until they have money to act rich. They act rich, from scratch. And that's how they get rich. You can start today. If there's at least one thing in this video that made you think differently, share it. You might just plant a seed of thought, for yourself or someone else in need.